everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing an Amrut review here. I have the Amrut Naarangi to my left and the Amrut single cask peated to my right. This is a peated Portpipe, 5 years old. All right, I'm gonna nose them, taste them, and give them a mark. I'm gonna start to my left because the peated might taint the flavor a little bit of the Naarangi. So this one's interesting. It's 50% ABV, and they do a little bit of cheating. Some might not call it cheating, but what they do is in the sherry barrels, they throw a whole bunch of oranges. I don't know if that would qualify as okay now, because I think with the new Scotch regulations, they're allowing people to use, or they're allowing distilleries to use different types of brandy casks, like fruit brandy and stuff like that. I'm not sure what that classification would be for this in particular, but the oranges just go into the sherry. They don't actually go into the whiskey. The sherry ages the barrel, and then you have what the result is, which is this Amrut Naarangi. Really, really orangey. So obviously it's doing exactly what they want it to do. Like I said, I'm gonna nose this and taste this first, and then I'm gonna move to the peated port. Right off the hop, orange oils, orange peel, orange chocolate, orange marmalade, heavy, heavy, heavy orange notes. Almost like a orange liqueur. You do get some of those red fruits as well from the sherry cask. Whenever you see Amrut use the bulls on their box or bottle, that indicates that they're using Spanish sherry. So the Spanish bull, toro, that sort of thing. That's why they use the bull. Again, for those of you that don't know, Amrut is an Indian single malt, all right? Beautiful nose. Honestly, it would be hard not to love this thing when you nose it blind. On the palate. %50 is the right ABV for this. It has a nice bite to it, but never approaching harsh. Beautiful sweetness. All those orange notes come through on the palate as well. I'm not going to list them again, but it's pretty much identical, all right, which is really cool. But I will add that there's some caramel in there as well. Maybe a milky chocolate. Orange chocolate, definitely. Lynn does a really nice orange chocolate. That's what this reminds me of. Really, really good. This has been open for quite some time. When I first bought the bottle, we hit it pretty hard, my friends and I, and it went down to half probably in like 2 nights. Haven't touched it since, because I said I was going to save it for a review, and here we are. Beautiful nose. For those of you that care and want to seek this out, this is batch number 5, August 2018 on the back of the bottle. So I'm assuming that's the bottling date. Love it. Honestly, this is an 88 easily for me. I think the only thing that's not making me mark it a 90 is that I feel like there's a little bit of cheating involved. So that kind of dulls it down. When you taste these flavors and you get that out of a natural cask, it makes it that much more intriguing, that much more interesting, that much more appealing. The problem is when you add oranges, you start to already kind of taint the expectation, because we're gonna taste oranges. We know that there's oranges used in the barrels for the sherry. Do I care? Not really. I would still replace this bottle. I think it's fantastic. It's tilting toward the oversweet side, but not quite there yet. The ABV does a good job of calming down the sweetness and making it a really nice whiskey. I really like that. Like I said, 88 easily. Moving on to the peated port, but just gonna take a quick sip of water. Okay, so This was bottled for Canada exclusively. It is from 2011, January 2011 to be exact, and bottled in February 2016. So just over 5 years old, 5 years, 1 month. The Naarangi you can find pretty much anywhere. I think it's available every year. They've been doing quite a bit of it, and I think a lot of people really love it, to be honest with you. Peated port. Again, this is a single malt, 59%. Single cask, but not quite cask strength. They tend to water their whiskey down because it gets like in the high 60s to even 70s. So they try to not bottle past 60% for the most part from what I've seen. But close enough to cask strength to call it cask strength. Not super peated, but the peat I'm getting is a barbecue style peat, and it's beautiful. On the palate, beautiful sweetness. Wow. A nice peat on the palate. Really, really nice. It goes charcoal, barbecue, maybe a slight hint of medicinal in there. Really, really nice. I'm very curious where they source their peat, because that's really nice. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sourcing their peat from Scotland. It doesn't mention the barley, but I know that they've used Scottish barley in the fusion, possibly in this one as well. Definitely barbecue sauce on the nose. Sweet nose. Very sweet peat. Nice color to it too. Yeah, this is one of 660 bottles. It does taste a bit young, but I'm okay with that. The port sweetness is definitely there. You get those jammy notes, but they kind of translate into like a really sweet barbecue sauce, sweet ribs, all that kind of stuff, and I love it. Honestly, it's really, really, really nice. These are a steal. Honestly, in my opinion, Amrut is just very well priced. For the quality that they're pumping out, you never find them more than 140 bucks Canadian. The rare ones are over that. I think the only two that I avoided were the double cask, because I think that one's in like the 250 range, and the Greedy Angels 8-year-old, which is just over 300 bucks Canadian. But for the most part, they're really, really well priced. Yeah, that's really nice too. I love the peat on this one. As an everydayer, I think it would be a little bit easier to go with the Naarangi just because of the heat. So I'm a little bit torn on my mark here. I'm gonna give it one more sip. Yeah, 88, but with a little bit of water, this one is an 89 for sure. So keep that in mind, somewhere between an 88 and an 89. Really, really good stuff. I highly recommend both of these. This one might not be for everybody. It's sweet and it's got that orange zest, and if you're not an orange fan, you're not gonna like this at all. So buyer beware on that. But I definitely will replace this bottle. If I can find this, I'll probably replace it as well. Really good stuff. Honestly, I love Amrut. You guys know that. Both of these are excellent. 88, 88 and a half to 90. And that's it. All right, guys. Hope you like this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell to get notifications when I do release a video. If you haven't checked them out, check out the Ralphie podcast that I did with Jeremy. Ralphie was on our channel. Thank you to him again for doing that. Really, really cool guy. Can't say enough about Ralphie. Cannot tell you how much I respect that man. Also, Daniel Winnington has been on this channel recently. He was on a live with me recently. Check that out as well. Honestly, really down to earth, cool guy as well. If you haven't checked out our podcast, it's Whiskey Rant Podcast, available anywhere that you find your podcasts. And if you really like what you're seeing and you would like to try something like these two whiskeys, check out my Patreon as well, because there's a whole bunch of really cool things happening on Patreon right now. So check out my Patreon page if you haven't already. Cheers, guys.